Hello hair growers and welcome back for another video. My name's Thomas if you're brand new, and I make style and hair related videos every single week. Now I need to ask you before I get into this video, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment, because the YouTube algorithm is getting very lethal and it's very judgmental on how people interact with content. And if I'm ever gonna keep making this long-haired content for you guys to enjoy, I'm gonna need that like button smashed. No, but really, it would really help. Okay, in today's video, it's just a little bit of a carry-on from the previous video I did a couple weeks back about the Lowered Undercut Man Bun. I gave you guys a preview of what I would look like with that, and I showed you a new skill that I have of, well, not new skill. I've actually had the skill for a while. I'm a Photoshopper. I love doing that. Yes, all of my Instagram profile photos are fake. No, but what I did was I was very inspired by doing that one lowered undercut variation in Photoshop. Let's do more. How many other variations can we do? And I thought I'd just compile all of them into a video for you like this, just to give you some inspiration if you are considering getting a man bun, but you don't know which style you want yet. There are a lot of variations as opposed to having the fully grown out look. And we're gonna dive straight into that right now. So yeah, there's 4 of them that I'm covering today. Number 1, let's get him off the ranks. So it is the Lowered Undercut Man Bun that I showed you a couple weeks ago. If you wanna know more about this, I'm not gonna talk too much about it. It's pretty much just the undercut starting at the temples and going to the back of the head and then tying up into the bun and keeping it all nice and trimmed, okay? So if you wanna watch more about that hairstyle, visit the video I posted a couple weeks back, and that is number 1 out of the way. Undercut man bun style number 2 is the, again, this video was a little bit hard for me to name hairstyles, like with the braiding one. I found it like very like, oh, I've gotta put so many syllables in here. So this one, because it sounds very similar to the lowered undercut, this is the low back undercut man bun. It's probably the least common undercut man bun that I've ever seen, but I've seen it on the guy that works at the gym. He always says hello to me every morning, and when I looked at his hair, I was like, he's got like a really weird undercut just at the back here. Here are some photos of what they look like. This is the back, this is the side. These are the ones that I created in Photoshop, and pretty much the undercut doesn't come over here on the temples at all. It pretty much starts 3/4 up from the ear and at the back of the head, and then it's just an even cut all the way along. After a while, I kind of looked at his hair and I went, oh, that's a bit weird. You missed a bit. But then after a while, I kind of went, actually, it's pretty cool. I like it. And I started seeing it in different places, like more on Instagram, more on Pinterest, more in real life. And usually when these things get brought to your attention, you notice them more. So I think that's exactly why this happened. So thank you to the guy at the gym for bringing on this inspo. And yeah, these are my versions of the low back undercut man bun. Maybe we could get that one first before we get the lowered one. And so it's like a staged thing. Like I can just go through all of them and make sure that it's what I want to do, because once you do it, there's no going back. Although I could do another hair growth journey. Like, what would be wrong with that, right? Moving on to undercut man bun style number 3. So this is probably the most common undercut man bun style that we see. This is the one that I first had when I started this YouTube channel. This one I just call the disconnected undercut with a man bun, which is exactly what it is, except this one we call it the rounded back. So on my first undercut that I ever had, the cut actually came to about here and went to the back of my crown, and then I would just tie it up as a man bun and voila, it looked really slick, really cool. There was many ways that I could style it. While I had it, I liked it, and yeah, it's pretty much the most common one, and I think a lot of people are still, even in the Facebook group, going for that style, which, hey, it's cool, it's still popular, and it doesn't matter what any other hair person says, the man bun isn't going anywhere, and it's still great and popular, okay? So this style is still in the running. This video is actually gonna be so short. So moving on to number 4, it is very similar to the disconnected undercut with the rounded back, except this is the Diamondback one, or as a lot of you will probably remember, the duck bum that I was growing out. So after I had the rounded back disconnected undercut with the man bun for a while, I got bored of that, just like I ended up getting bored of the undercut in general. And I thought, how can I make this a little bit different? And I wanted to turn the back of the hairstyle into a point so it looked a little bit more edgy, and it actually did. It looked really edgy when I had it. A few images and stuff like floating around of where I had the pointed back for real, but I am putting together a blog post for this on Man Buns and Manes, so I wanted to make the images look a little bit more congruent and like they were part of one family. So here they are. This, I guess, was probably my first awkward stage ever of growing out the duck bum, because I already had the rounded back at the beginning, and then I had to go from rounded back to a pointed back. So I had to get the hairdresser to get the point right. Then I had to grow that out. And then after I grew that out, I was like, cool, I reached my goal. And then I went, oh, now I've got to grow out the rest. What? So yeah, it was, they were all really, really good styles to wear. I haven't worn the lowered undercut man bun yet, but that is coming, don't know when still. These ones were just all variations and styles that I wanted to present to you just for ideas. This is like an inspo video of what your hair could look like. So I hope that gave you a few more ideas. You can incorporate fades on all of these as well. That's like just another variation that I probably didn't need to add in here because like it's not that important, like whether you get a fade or not. It depends on where the cut is. And this is about undercut man bun variants. So they're the most coolest ones I've seen. I haven't really seen other styles. Like, I wonder if you could get like a lopsided undercut man bun where like the cut is... Could you imagine? No, I couldn't imagine that, actually. Don't get that. That's not a style. And we're not photoshopping that one either. But yeah, anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some inspiration from it. Please let me know in the comment section below. And do remember to hit that like button because it really helps me out. And I will see you next week for another video. Until then, catch you later. Bye.